Texas Senator Ted Cruz has called out the Biden administration over a flat-out lie. Yesterday, Joe Biden was asked about gas prices increasing, and he said it was all on Vladimir Putin.
It's going to go up. Can't do much right now. Russia's responsible.
But Senator Cruz isn't having that. He tweeted, "This is a flat-out lie. Gas prices have increased 48% under Biden before Russia invaded Ukraine. Biden did that. That's because Biden killed Keystone Pipeline, froze federal leases, shut down ANWR, all while Biden waived sanctions on Putin's pipeline." The price of gas has hit a new national average record of $4.17 a gallon, and in some states like California, it's over $5. However, the price of gas has been surging long before Russia invaded Ukraine. Due to supply chain issues and demand after the coronavirus pandemic, the price of gas has been nearing $4 a gallon for months. However, it did go up by 55 cents following sanctions placed on Russia. Those high prices, as well as inflation in general, which hit a 40-year high, has been one of the central issues affecting Americans under the Biden administration. President Biden announced a few days ago that the US would halt all imported oil and refined products from Russia in retaliation over the country's decision to invade Ukraine. Fox News' Peter Doocy probed the press secretary on this today.
We have heard the president warn for months the gas prices were rising because of the supply chain and because of post-pandemic demand. If you guys knew for months that this was going to be the hashtag Putin price hike, why are we just hearing that now?
Well, Peter, if we go back to 6 months ago, I don't think anybody was predicting we would be exactly where we are as it relates to Russia and Ukraine. As you know, that events in the world, including the invasion by Russia of a foreign country, does prompt instability and volatility in the global oil market.
Last year, the US imported about 8% of its oil and refined products from Russia. So in order for the hole in the market not to affect the economy dramatically, the government will need to fill that void. There has been calls from both Republicans and Democrats to ramp up domestic production of oil instead of reaching out to Saudi Arabia, Mexico or Iran for help. RNC Research tweeted this video that took place last June of Republican Garrett Graves calling out Biden Interior Secretary Deb Haaland for increasing imports of Russian oil.
How much oil was imported from Russia in May or June of last year to the United States?
Congressman, I don't have that figure at the top of my head.
All right, let me make sure I came out of my mouth correctly. Imported to the United States from Russia. So last May and June, it was none. It was zero. And this was during the Trump administration. Do you know how much has been imported for May and projected to be imported for June from Russia?
I don't have that figure on the top of my head.
It was nearly 6 million barrels for the month of May, and it's projected to be in excess of 7 million barrels for the month of June. Russian oil imported to the United States, and this is under the Biden administration compared to Trump administration. It's very baffling to me to see how we're seeing shutdowns, moratoriums, whatever pauses, whatever term you want to use, for production in the United States whenever it does have a big impact on jobs, economy, and we're increasing our reliance upon economies that I wouldn't consider to be friendly. We're also effectively facilitating the construction of the Nord Stream 2 pipeline, expanding markets for Russian oil by withdrawing the sanctions, President Biden's withdrawal of sanctions on Russian intelligence operatives that are building the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. So very concerning.
Fox News Digital interviewed a former Keystone Pipeline worker who said he's seen the writing on the walls for a while and the higher gas prices aren't a result of Russia invading Ukraine.
There's no energy company going to spend the money to develop a new lease if they can't build a pipeline to move the project. And that's the kind of things that are taking place behind the scenes. Jen Psaki, your policies, your boss's policies have everything to do with the rise in fuel prices in this country today. It has nothing to do with the war in Ukraine. The very first thing, my recommendation would be, we've got to get the administration's foot off the throats of the energy companies and let them do what they do best. We're not saying don't build windmills or solar farms. Start building them. Have fun. Do it. It'll be part of the energy sector, but don't kill the part of the economy and what we depend on right now is what I'm saying. We don't know when we'll be able to make that switch, but right now this country runs on oil and gas, and it makes no sense for the Americans to suffer higher prices.